Welcome back, guys. Honestly, I don't know how to start this video. It's kind of a bittersweet moment. This last chapter was an interesting chapter. A lot of important things happened, but we finally came to the conclusion of Zebek. Now, given what we've seen Zebek accomplish so far and what he was trying to protect in this fight, I really do not know how to go about thinking about this chapter, because it really is hurtful to me. Like, the way that Zebek had to pass, it wasn't something that I hoped for him ever. But at least it didn't go the worst possible route. Alright, without further ado, let's dive into the chapter. It's been a while, but it's time for me to finally talk about this. So, we left last chapter with Roger and Garp jumping into the fight. Unfortunately, we know from the last chapter itself that Zebek has to die. There seems to be no cure for the Domiroversi in this case. I was really hoping, at least in his final moments, he would be able to hit the curse would have to be able to be reversed. He could get his final words in, or he could like say something to help Eris and teach to Garp and Roger. He can communicate slightly, but it's kind of more forced through like the voice of all things kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, we see Roger and Garp start fighting him, and basically it's a tough fight because, well, he's back. He himself is a tough person, and then he's been Domiroversi, so his aggression's kind of like boosted up. But they also cannot find an edge out of this. I mean, like, Garp and Roger are in general good fighters, like at least from what we see over here. And it is good to see that like they share the sense of camaraderie with Zebek, where they understand his frustrations and are willing to accommodate his final request. They do understand the threat of Zebek though, and they ask their entire crews to evacuate and basically start fighting Zebek. Now, coming away from the emotional side of things, there's this one thing that Roger mentions about Moss. I don't know if this is my translation or like this is a mistake in the translated version that I read or anything. There's a thing about Moss that they say that basically could help them. Basically, it seems that outside of just using Conqueror's Haki, you need to put something which was in my translation was translated to Moss behind the attack to basically hurt Zebek. So they needed to put everything, whatever they can, into one attack. That's from my understanding. That into one attack so that it negated not only Zebek's Conqueror's Haki imbued attacks, but went through. And this Roger did say that could lead to repercussions for them. Now, since both Roger and Garp used this, I'm starting to wonder if Roger's sickness came from this thing. And if so, how injured is Garp so that he kind of like has to get into like, I don't know how bad Garp is injured. That's the only thing. Which kind of right now I think raises some ideas about Kizaru's intentions with Garp, but we'll get to those later. Like, a lot of theories pop up when I start discussing this. That's why it's wonderful like having this platform just to kind of jump in and discuss these things, because it kind of opens up like theories in my head. And yeah, but that Kizaru thing, I will probably leave it for a while now. I'm just gonna double check because this thing definitely affected Garp. We don't know how much. And Kizaru has ice powers. Now, if you can make the connection there, um, then you kind of are on the same thinking lines. But otherwise, I will think. I will let me see if I can get a little bit more information regarding this, and then we'll move forward from there. Anyway, as Zebek, Rox, and Garp are fighting, we kind of see that the members of Zebek's crew are leaving. Leaving. They just have given up on Zebek's thing, which is so sad to see. That this guy who is loyal to a fault, I will say, this guy who can be loyal to a fault has such a fucked up crew that they would betray him. I think the only few people who stayed were Whitebeard, Big Mom, Big Mom, Kaido. Yeah, that's it. Literally, those three are the only ones that stayed until the point where they could handle the fight. When they couldn't, they backed away. And as they're fighting, we kind of see that there are a bunch of different character interactions. We see Stussy, we see Whitebeard leaving. When Whitebeard, coming to that, there's a really funny thing that comes up because when Whitebeard is leaving, we see what seems to be Marco's dad, and he's part of the Polo Pirates. And his name is Graham Polo, and he introduced himself as Graham, which means that he named his son Marco, knowing his full name would be Marco Polo. Like, that's hilarious. So Marco's full name is just not Marco, it's Marco Polo. It's so dumb, but it's fun. It's a fun little thing in this chapter, in this very sad chapter that came to my head. Why would you? I don't know if Marco Polo the game exists in their world, but if it does, why would you name him Marco? Anyway, either way, we see a lot of different other characters as well. We see Dragon jumping in and basically commandeering a ship, saving Ivankov, Ginny, Ginny, man. Ginny is like such a great, but we don't see much of her. But anyway, I think Kuma is also there with them. I don't recall seeing him. That's the only thing. I just don't recall seeing him because he popped away. But I don't know if he popped back to Dragon. I don't recall seeing him, so I'm gonna say Kuma as well because just cause he was there and he played an amazing role. But I'm pretty sure he's still with them. But yeah, once we kind of see a lot of these characters start leaving, we kind of come back to see the discussion regarding the mass. And right before this discussion, actually, what happens is Roger says that if you're so sick of the Navy, you're free to come join us to Garp. And Garp literally says that if I leave, then who will protect the Marines? Because he kind of, I think, sees a threat to the Marines from the inside that he can't completely negate if he's outside of the Marines, which is a really good indication of why he created Sword. A lot of theories regarding Sword is that it's kind of like an anti-Marine corps inside the Marines, so that it's kind of like a antidote to the corruption in the Marines. It's a separate division, sort of, that works like the Marines, but has fundamentally very low attachment to the core Marines. So it makes good sense why he would have started the Sword, especially after this incident. It is great to see why Garp has a faction of his own people in the Marines. who are not loyal to the Marines wholeheartedly. That is very interesting to see. We eventually come to the end punch, whatever it is, the killing punch for Rox. And this scene kind of broke me. Man, I really wanted something or the other to be able to stop Rox's rampage. Like, I knew he was going to die. Like, I definitely knew he was going to die. But just something, like, just to give him his final moments. But it seems like he didn't get a good final moment. He just had to die. And yeah, Garp and Roger basically had to kill Rox. And that's where we kind of end the chapter. Honestly, a very hard chapter to read, especially since I've gotten so attached to Rox as a character. And it's, again, like I said in the last video, it's not going to be something that's going to stop here, this backstory. It's going to keep continuing because this is still part of Loki's backstory, where we kind of understand what happened with King Harald with Loki. It's kind of like an extension outside of his perspective, but it is basically still Loki's backstory that we're going to go through. So again, want to look forward to this. I'm really interested in finding out what happened to Eris and Teach. It hopefully, you know what? Given no matter how much of an asshole Teach is, I hope he got like a good life, or somehow Eris survived. Honestly, I don't think Eris would have survived either, because Whitebeard has a Teach when he was a kid, so I don't know how long after Eris passes away. I hope something happens. Like I really hope. I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know this. I feel so bad for this thing happening in this world, and then I feel so bad if Eris. I will feel bad if Eris passes away as well, which is going to happen. We know that Teach ends up with Whitebeard for a reason. Let's see what happens. Honestly, I can't even bring myself to like feel good about this chapter because I really didn't want this to happen. Even though I knew it was coming, I didn't really want this to happen. But it is what it is, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. I know it's supposed to come out a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, a lot of things got in the way. And I was kind of like, dreading making this video because I'm literally on the verge of tears for this chapter. Because Rox is that much of a good character for me. Either way, that's about it. I hope you guys had a good time. I'll see you guys in the next one.